Hey, peace. What's good? Welcome back to Urban X TV. We're your hosts. I'm Malcolm, the artist formerly known as the Black Dot. We're here with you guys in the building. Got some stuff to talk about on this episode of the Popcast, as we like to call it here.
Yes. I hope my diction is great because we were having some weird stuff, but it was only on the podcast.
Yeah, I don't
The
hear it.
podcast, I know, but if there was some kind of like either delay or something weird was going on. But I
Yeah,
think we're in good shape now.
like even when I play it back, like I don't hear it. So I don't know. I blame you. I don't know. All right.
Facts.
So this was breaking news the other day. Irv Gotti, co-founder of Murder Inc. Records, he got accused of graping somebody, essaying somebody, and this apparently happened over. And this is Jane Doe who's accusing him. She has not revealed her identity, but this happened on several occasions from 2020 to 2022 in St. Martin, Miami, and Atlanta. And the lawsuit seeks a trial by a jury as a result.
Wow.
Yeah.
Trial by jury. And it's curious because these are recent charges.
Mm-hmm.
This is not somebody who's showing up after 25 years and saying in 1999
Yeah.
something happened. This is something very recent. And so that kind of surprises me that Irv Gotti, again, he's innocent until otherwise. But the fact that somebody's bringing these charges against him at this day and time, you know what I'm saying? I find that to be a little odd and a little interesting at the same time.
So what I find interesting, I'll be honest with you, is because when he like came back out, like he just kind of made a little run of interviews with him coming back out. He made the Tales show on BET. He was I think they had like a Murder Inc. documentary as
Hmm.
well on BET. He sold, I believe, the catalog for like $300 million or something. Like he was making a run, but in that run, he was doing a lot of
Yes.
talking about his sexual exploits, about Ashanti and stuff like that. What he was doing off ecstasy and things like that. And somebody tweeted, I never forget it. Somebody tweeted like, "Yo, he's gonna talk his way into a Me Too allegation sooner or later,"
Mm.
because he just kind of like it was a lot to me. I don't know if you guys in the comments you kind of like can give me your opinion on that, but I was just like, "What's going on with you?"
I agree. He came back a little boastful. He came back not really humble. He was given a second opportunity after all of the charges and his empire crashed. And I was great to see him beat those charges if they weren't true.
Right.
But then he came back with a certain kind of mob. He was talking mob talk and untouchable talk and what he's gonna do talk and so remember once you get a dirty name in the industry or you too hot to touch, rarely do you receive that second opportunity. He did, but I haven't heard anything significant. His older brother, I think it's his older brother,
Yes, his older brother.
he's the one who started like an independent music platform to try to help independent artists, which is a joke to me in the grand scheme of things because it all leads back to the major companies somehow, some way through
Yeah.
distribution or something. And so, he talked about the Ashanti stuff. We didn't like that.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? At all. Nobody liked that. Even his peeps, Fat Joe kind of was like, come on, bro, like let's not go here. And so for him to have these new allegations, it's interesting during these times when, which we'll talk about the Young Thug trial, the Diddy situation, the pending situations of just things going on in the industry. It's interesting time.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting time, like you just said. It seems like there is definitely a changing of the guard when it comes to hip hop, because all of the old kings, right? All of the old, they all going down for something. They all going
Yes.
down, and we literally talked about on Monday's show how even though you're gonna get Diddy, right? Say he goes to jail, the system doesn't change because there's always going to be somebody taking advantage of somebody, you know, and you know, taking advantage of their position of power, you know, of somebody, right? These happened a few years ago. These allegations happened 2020, 2022. So I just found that to be interesting. Our like childhood, like especially my childhood, like we grew up on these people running entertainment, you know,
Yes.
running everything, and they are going down. I also I brought up the fact that he, you know, had that $300 million. That could be something as well. Like, you know, you got out, but we not gonna really let you get out with that bread. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very, very great observation because uh, you never really get out.
Right.
You know? And then the one that doesn't go down, that's the one I'm looking at side eye of all the moguls. Whoever don't go down, sort of like when homie, the Godfather told, yo, whoever sets the meeting up,
Yeah. It's a traitor.
that's the one,
Yeah.
right? And so whoever don't go down, you know, you got to look at with a little side eye. And then I think he undersold the catalog anyway for 300 million. He could have got more than that
That's what I
between
thought.
Shante, a DMX, and a few other individuals that he had. And so, and then that money flies. You know, you got to
Yes.
pay taxes on that money. And if your industry connections are not what they used to be because of an alleged reputation, it becomes tough for you to flip that money into uh, commodities, you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
equity to help it grow. Because nobody want to keep seeing them little crime movies and, you know, it's like, come on, let's, we get on Tyler Perry about his movie choice, but we got to look at some of these other dudes who keep making the same goddamn crime movie.
Yeah.
Okay, we get it. You from the streets, you know a few things that happen. So I'm hoping these charges are not true.
Right. Right. Of course.
It's a sticky situation because you're dealing with someone who feels that they were victimized. These charges are new. That's the part of it that worries me.
Yeah.
And on 3 or 4 different occasions at different places, that part, because I already know what people are going to say. People with no empathy, well, why didn't she report it the first time or this, that? And so rape is a complex thing in general,
Yeah.
especially with men of power or the perceived of power, you know, and you may be being a victim or suffering from victimhood, or are you out for a money grab? I think the trial, and she wants trial by jury.
Yeah. Because apparently, I was listening to a few people. Apparently, this was brought to him private, not privately, but like, you know, behind closed doors, obviously, and like he probably said, "Let's take this to court," and now it's going to court.
Okay, so that's interesting as well.
Right.
The fact that he's not willing to just settle,
Right.
maybe he feels that this case will get thrown out. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see how this thing lines up.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think in the next few years, because it seems like they change the rules of engagement, and don't take this the wrong way, but they changed the rules of engagement of how men of power dealt with their groupies to 2024 standard. Like they how they dealt with them back then, 90s, early 2000s to now, and a lot of them are being caught flat-footed. Like, yo, wait, time out.
No, that's a great point, Malcolm, because again, when we revisit even the Bill Cosby situation,
Yeah.
and then you know if this is why tell people when you are looking through the lens of something from 2024 that happened 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, you're at an unfair advantage because you only using this as a reference point,
Yeah.
right? So when I speak about hip hop in the 70s, you almost had to, you just had to be there
Right.
to understand that vibe. So the same thing with the Bill Cosby situation, when you talk about Studio 54, they all pop Quaaludes, they all had cocaine everywhere you went. And that was the environment that people were used to during that time. Fast forward now, even in the 90s, the groupie game was totally different. I can tell you from firsthand experience. And now the situation has changed because the monetary value of the industry itself has changed.
Right.
And so you see these guys who treated you bad walking around with $600-700 million, and you kind of feel, a piece of that should be yours, and maybe rightfully so, if you were violated. And so, but you can't have the same mentality that you had
Yeah.
in the 90s because the game is different. Some of these women, not all of these women, some of these women are just victims. I get it. You deserve to get what's coming to you. Some of them are a little bit more calculated. Come on, this is the get money era.
Mm-hmm.
If a woman is willing to sell box on OnlyFans, you not think she not willing to box you in? You know what I'm saying? And create a scenario where you almost have to pay her because of what she knows or the compromising position that you're in. And
Yeah.
so there are women who have ulterior motives. And once they get what they feel is enough information or data on the situation, they looking to cash out. We don't hear a lot about those cases,
Right.
the way we should. We do hear you pressing charges against a prominent individual,
Right.
but we don't hear a lot about when the case was dismissed and things of that nature. But this is all due to social media, and this is all due to the money grab that's going around the country in all aspects. Everybody's trying to get paid. And I'm not saying, I want to be clear because people, they hear what they want to hear.
Yep.
I'm not saying in this particular case that this is the situation.
Yep.
We want to let it play out. I'm just saying there are a lot of gold diggers. There are a lot of people with ulterior motives. There are a lot of women with mental illness. And there are a lot of savage men out here at the same time who feel because they can get you a record deal or this and that, they can take full advantage of you.
Yep. You're
Bad
right.
situation all the way around the board.
All right, so we'll keep an eye out on that. And other big news, we spoke about this Monday as well. The judge from the Young Thug Rico trial, he was replaced by a woman named Shakura Ingram. Okay,
Ooh.
and everybody was making jokes like, "Oh, he got a black woman, he going to jail." Like that's just, I've never heard those type of connections where black women judges is where I've never heard that, but I thought it was funny. She actually just recused herself from the case.
Wait, she just got on the
She
case.
just got in the case. She recused herself from the case today because her deputy got brought up on charges for improper relationship with somebody in YSL.
Ugh.
Yes.
Yeah, this
So
thing is a mess.
it is a mess. So the new judge now is a white lady named Paige Reese Whitaker. Right, so she is the new judge on this case, and you know that guy who's like the hip hop lawyer, and he be covering these cases. He thinks they're
Yes,
gonna drop it because he says that this case has been going on for a while, and to implant a new judge in the middle, they kind of need to start all over again. They need to get a new jury. They need to kind of start from the beginning, and he thinks like it's gonna be too much, so he kind of foresees them dropping this case. Now, we talked spicy about Young Thug because we thought he was going down. I'm not gonna lie, we was like, nigga, it's over. He
that's a
might be
fact.
coming home. He might be coming home.
If he comes home, he's the
I-
Teflon Don.
yeah, yeah.
You
So
know what I mean?
yeah,
Because again, like you said, to supplant yourself in the middle of a trial, which you don't know all the details, you don't know the nuances of. As a judge, you generally have a beat on
yeah,
where this is going, what angles the prosecution is taking, what angles the defense is taking. You have established a relationship with your jury. You know what I mean? On what can be allowed, what's not going to be allowed, and to be in a situation now where that's not the case, and you just got to be in the middle. It's chaos. We already have a defense lawyer who he's kind of like a maverick
yeah, yeah,
since some of the things he is willing to do for his client. And obviously, like you said, the fact that he got Gunner out and Gunner is now back, topping the charts is what's keeping the money coming in. And isn't he a part of the 300 Empire? Is this
I think
Irv Gotti?
I no, no
I mean,
Irv
not Irv Gotti. Is this Leo
Leo.
Cohen?
I think so.
I think this is when you follow the breadcrumbs, it leads to Leo, and so Leo and them also have a vested interest in this case somehow, some way.
And I want to also make a note that Young Thug might, if he gets off, he might be the beneficiary of just turmoil within the city of Atlanta. Meaning, remember the woman who was having the improper relationship with what's her name?
Fanny.
Fannie, yes, Fannie Willis, right? So remember that's happening. The Democratic Party in general was going on with the presidential. Like it might just be kind of a perfect storm that he might get out because of like everything politically that's going on right now,
Got you.
and it might be an oversight. So because and the way this case is going, it's already a mess. So I don't know.
Yeah, and the longer the case goes on, the more money the city of Atlanta is spending on it.
True,
You know what I mean? And so
true.
we got to look at that aspect as well. And the first judge, like you said, you don't know if he was looking to make a name for him. So Atlanta is a weird place now.
Yeah,
So it's a lot going on, and you got to wonder about people's motives. If the motive is justice, let's have a trial, let's have a clean trial, and let's, the way the American system is set up, where you're proven, you're innocent until proven guilty. It doesn't seem like the prosecution has proven his case,
yeah,
and
yeah,
so I'm not one to wish bad guys get back on the street, but you got to prove I'm a bad guy.
yeah. Right.
So that's where we are with that, man.
All right, so that's it for this episode of the Popcast. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have anything to add in the comments, let us know. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and we will see you guys tomorrow for the podcast. All right,
Yes.
so
Peace.
peace.